YouTube's music app dropped this week. Here are my first impressions, a little mini review for you. Hi, Mickeleh here. I've said all along that I expected the music app to be the killer feature of YouTube Red, even more than eliminating ads, and now that I've seen it, now that I've used it for a day, I'm even more convinced the music app will be a huge hit. It's available now for both iOS and Android. So far, it's US only. Here's a rundown of the good, the missing, the bad, and why I think it's too soon for a verdict. Let's start with the good. Here's the headline. It's smart, it's simple, and it already knows you. First off, it knows you. If you have a history of listening to music on YouTube, and if you're watching this, you probably do, YouTube Music already knows what you listen to. You remember when your teacher used to say, things are going to go on your permanent record? See, I don't think the teacher had any idea what they were talking about. But now we have Google. You do have a permanent record. They have it for you. The moment you sign on to the YouTube Music app, you will find a personalized station waiting for you, and it will surprisingly feel like your station. You don't have to train it, because you've already trained it. If you listen to YouTube musicians, they will be there in your list alongside signed artists. If you don't, they won't. Your playlist will start with tunes, artists, and genres you listen to, but it's pretty smart about going on from there, which brings me to the second point. Second, it's all about discovery. When you listen, you'll see two tabs, Playing Now and Explore. Swipe left, you bring up a list of music that's related. Other songs by the same artist, similar artists, covers, concert performances. The amount of YouTube and Google smarts behind this app is really impressive. They not only have the tracks, but you see, they've been tracking the tracks and who listens to the tracks and what else they listen to and what you listen to. Also, the Content ID system, which was developed as a service to publishers and content owners, here it's put to use for listeners in finding other versions of songs for you. They make it very easy to get from a cover version to the original, or from an original to a list of covers, concerts, versions with lyrics, all labeled for you. YouTube and Google algorithms really shine here. Now, this app is optimized for no-effort listening and browsing. Whatever you play initiates an endless playlist, sort of like Pandora, but it's based on what YouTube knows about content and listeners rather than Pandora's music genome, whatever that is. Third, this flame icon will open up some current trending playlists, including a Daily 40, YouTube Live, what's hot right now. If it's important for you to be hot, see, I would rather be cool. Scroll down, you can see what's hot by genre. Fourth, there's an audio-only mode that will sip on data and battery power when you're out and about. Boom, you have just switched from a video app to a music app. Now at that point, you can even power off your phone. Keep listening. You can plug your phone into your car entertainment system and control it from the steering wheel, just like Spotify, Apple Music, and other apps. Fifth, you can ask the app to download a selection of tunes that you can listen to offline. Depending on your storage availability, you can adjust that to get more songs or fewer. You can't control which songs, they decide for you. Sixth, really simple UI, not a whole lot of choices. I really admire their ability to keep features out of the product. That's one of the hardest things to do when you have a bunch of smart, creative developers. They keep coming up with ideas. Now, here's what you can do. Basically, you can like something or dislike it. Compared to YouTube proper, where disliking is just a placebo, disliking a tune in the music app is real. It will just remove the song from your playlist. You won't see it again. You can minimize a video to the bottom of the screen so you can browse, or go horizontal and you'll see the full image, full screen. Sixth, you can click away to other apps on your phone. Music will keep playing in the background. You get your phone back to use for other apps. Seventh, I think this one is huge. YouTube has a ton of performances from artists you like that you won't find on any other service. TV appearances, film excerpts, concert appearances. Swipe left, they'll be under the Explore tab. Or they'll just come up as you listen. Or you can find the latest live performances in the YouTube Live section. Here's Sia from last week's SNL. That's the good. Here's the missing. Here's what they left out in the service of keeping it simple. You can't make a playlist with this app. That's a key feature for many people. Is it a deal breaker? That's up to you. You can get to existing playlists on YouTube, and the app basically does generate a playlist as you use it. You just can't make your own playlist as you can with Spotify or Apple Music. What else is missing? You can't buy a tune. This one surprised me. If you listen to music on YouTube proper, there's usually an option to buy what you're listening to on Bandcamp, iTunes, Amazon, Google Play. Not with the YouTube Music app. It's a sign that YouTube is at the leading edge, renting and streaming music rather than the trailing edge of owning and storing it. They have cut the cord. But I worry that this potentially can cut into the incomes of independent artists who count on YouTube as a way to promote sales for their CDs, their downloads, their Bandcamp, etc. Also missing, I didn't see any cards coming through on YouTube Music. You go to the trouble of making cards, they don't show up. And that's a surprise because YouTube specifically introduced cards last March as a mobile-friendly version of annotations. You want to listen? You go to YouTube Music. You want to interact? Go to YouTube. Here's something else missing, detailed information. If you like to know things like when was this recorded, when was it uploaded, who composed it, who's playing on it, who filmed the video, who produced it, who mixed it, you're not going to find that, not in this app. YouTube Music has even less metadata visible than Apple Music or Spotify. YouTube won't even let you know what album a tune is from. So if you miss liner notes on LPs or booklets on CDs, there's nothing for you here. You can't even get to the doobly-doo, the description box. You know what would be cool, though? An open in YouTube button so you could get to all that. Also missing, social features, which Spotify does so well. You can't take a peek into what your cooler friends are listening to. So that's what's good and that's what's missing. Anything bad? Well, a little bit. A couple of times I noticed the music just stopped in the middle. I haven't figured out why, but it wasn't that hard to get it started again. Also, occasionally some stuttering. A couple of times a tutorial popped up in the middle of a playlist. I was listening to gypsy jazz guitar. Along came someone who wanted to teach me how to play it. Not now. I don't have my guitar with me. No. And if you listen to a lot of YouTubers, there's this annoyance. All those calls to action that YouTube headquarters convinced us to include in our videos, they really get in the way for a listening session. Click here for another one of my songs. Click here to buy my album. I'm touring. Come to the shows. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment and like this video. Here's my t-shirt. Here's my Patreon. You couldn't even respond to those calls to action if you wanted to. The app doesn't give you anything to click. Now, it's not a serious problem if a YouTuber starts yammering instead of singing. Just click next or scrub ahead. If they're really obnoxious, thumbs down. You don't have to be on Red to use YouTube Music. There's a free version. You'll get ads, and you won't get these two premium features. No offline playlists and no background playing. There's a 2-week free trial of those features so you can decide if you think they're worth the money. US only for now, as I said before. All in all, I like the YouTube Music app. I expect it to do very well, but here's why it's too soon for a verdict. I haven't spent enough time with it to know if it keeps me entertained on a sustaining basis. I like the features. I've already found tunes and artists I would otherwise have missed, but it's going to take a while to know if I like the music choices it makes on a sustaining basis. Stay tuned. Until next time, I'm Mickeleh. DVD extras. It's easy to overlook how completely YouTube's numbers in music dominates Spotify, Apple, and all the rest. Not only in content, but YouTube already has over 1 billion users. How many will come over to YouTube Music remains to be seen. But this is what 1 billion looks like next to Spotify's 75 million and Apple's 15 million. Those are total subscribers. Paid subscribers, Spotify drops to 40 million, Apple drops to 6.5. How many free and paid apps will YouTube Music get? Stay tuned. Loose ends from my last video on YouTube Red. Some of you questioned the fraction I used in the last video. My total watch time over YouTube's total watch time. Well, I got that wrong. According to Fullscreen's blog, the actual fraction is going to be this. My paid watch time over YouTube's total paid watch time. You know what? I don't see how that's going to change the ratio. Won't these two fractions be very close to the same value? I think so. A few comments pointed out a critical factor I neglected to mention last time. The amount of revenue generated per user under YouTube Red, $9.99. That's going to be significantly higher than the amount of revenue a typical viewer could generate by ads. So that's the main reason YouTube expects creator payouts to be higher under Red. I did mention that in my first video. Should have repeated it in my second, so here it is in my third. One important note that I wasn't aware of at the time, the formula for paying music clips is different from other videos. With music, it's going to be based on play count, not watch time. I wish they'd do that for animation as well. But it's not clear to me how that formula plays out. How many minutes of watch time is equal to one music play count? Don't know. How does YouTube plan to allocate the money between music and non-music videos? Don't know. Has anyone seen anything about that? My concern still stands. In fact, it's even heightened. Could heavy music listening cut into the revenues of non-music videos? I have no clue. What have you heard? And please list sources in your comments. Here are my previous videos on YouTube Red, and in honor of the Steve Jobs movie opening in London this weekend, here is the story of the very last project I did for Steve. Bye now.